Hello guys, what is going on? Game of Aaron here, and the gameplay you're seeing is not the best out of all of my games. However, it is decent gameplay and hopefully you guys enjoy that. But the reason I made this video is to teach you guys how to be good at Call of Duty. Now that sounds kind of broad and you're probably wondering, what is he going to teach us? So I divided it into 3 different categories, and I'm going to go over each one, and I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible and as effectively as possible. So the 3 categories are EXO, being aware, and being active. Now, they really mean nothing to you until I actually explain each thing, so before you guys just click away thinking that it's a stupid video, just let me go over each thing, and I can promise you in the end you'll agree, somewhat. So starting off with the EXO, everyone knows that Advanced Warfare is the first game that has the EXO suits. So this isn't a bad thing, of course. Everyone thought it would be. However, it's actually a great feature that we can use to do multiple things. So first off, you can use it to actually get around quickly. So when you spawn in, instead of just running, climbing ladders to get to places, you can just jump and dash really quickly around places. Now this is awesome. However, it can be overused. So before I get into that, I want to quickly say that you should try to rewire your brain, because we've been playing Call of Duty for about like 7 years, maybe some people are newer for even 1 year, but chances are you've played one of the other Call of Duties and you're not used to this EXO ability. So what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to rewire your brain into thinking that this is something natural, and I know it sounds really weird, but it really does help when you're just naturally jumping around instead of forcing yourself to. So not using it actually puts you at a disadvantage to the other people, because they will be jumping around on different levels and you'll be running around on the ground. So don't just be that one guy who's trying to play like classic Call of Duties, because it's just not going to work in this game. There is actually a game mode, if you like it, on Advanced Warfare, where it gets rid of all the EXO, so you guys can play that if you really don't like the EXO suits. However, you will have to get used to it for this year, because this is pretty much what everything is revolving around right now. Another thing that is good for is getaways. So if there's a bunch of people in a room, you're weak, you can just dash out, reload it, dash back in, do whatever you want. So it's really quick and it makes COD even more fast-paced than it already is. The last thing that you can use it for, I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff, but these are the 3 main ones. So the last one is if there's multiple people. So let's say you turn a corner and then there's 2 people shooting guns at you. What you can do is you can actually jump around, kill one, land, kill the other. Now I know it sounds a little weird, but if you think about it, Call of Duty is very fast-paced and you can kill people really quickly. So if you're moving around, it just adds that that extra dynamic, so it makes it a lot harder for people to shoot you than if you're just standing still in one spot or you're camping behind a rock or something like that. So it actually does help. I've gotten a lot of triple kills or multiple kills by doing this, and it's actually a really good skill that I think everyone should master. So that's pretty much everything for EXO. Now we're going to move into the second category, which is being aware or awake. So it sounds a little weird and probably doesn't seem like it's going to relate to Call of Duty. However, oftentimes in COD we have things like spawn flips or flanks. So you'd be running up one side and then all of a sudden the team's behind you and they just kill you without you even knowing. This is a huge thing in every single Call of Duty, except it's even worse in this game because of the fact that people can run around really quickly and they can jump behind you. So I've had people jumping right over me, land behind me, and kill me without me even knowing, and it's just a really good skill. So you move really quickly in this game, and people can appear near you really quickly, so you won't expect people to be near you and they'll just jump out in an instant. The way to break this is to hold your ground when you're playing. For example, I play a lot of Momentum. I recommend you guys play that game mode, but if you've played it, you'll know what I mean. It's a flag that you have to cap, and oftentimes the way a lot of people will do is they'll just run right on the flag without even knowing anything. So I'll just be on the side killing every single one that goes on it, because they're not really aware of what's going on and they're not aware of where the enemies are. So always be aware of your UAV especially, or your mini-map. UAV is just a really good kill streak. I recommend everybody use it because it's very low to get, and it's probably one of the best in the game right now because they're really underpowered. So UAV is very useful. However, the map itself is useful as well because of the fact that when people shoot, you can just find them. Now I know it sounds very simple and easy. However, a lot of people just neglect their mini-map and they don't even look at it at all. I've been behind people, killing people, and no one turns around to even bother shooting. Also, multiple times I'd be running in an alleyway, I'll look at my mini-map, someone shooting behind me. I had no idea if I didn't have a mini-map, so I turn around, I kill them just before they get me, and it really pays off in the end. Now the last one, and one of the most important, is be active. Now, I'm not trying to be your mom telling you to go outside or anything or play a sport. That's not really what it means in this sense. It means more about moving around a lot. So after all, this is still a Call of Duty game, meaning it's very fast-paced and people are going to be everywhere. You're going to be running, there's going to be people to your left, straight ahead, even above you now in this game. So I want you to pretty much move around a lot, get your ground, like I said in the other point. And the one downside to this is that a lot of people will overrun it. So they'll just run right into a bomb or right into a flag when there's 5 or 6 people just staring right at that point. Now that's not necessarily being active, that's just being stupid in a sense. Being active could be running around them and pulling a flank and getting 3 out of the 5 or 6 guys. Now that could be really useful. You also just scare the other people off. Now they're going to be confused looking for you. Your teammates can come in and get them. There's a lot of smart plays that can happen when you're moving around a lot. So it's pretty much like any sport. If you played hockey or if you played soccer, you never really want to just clump together in one area. You want to be constantly moving around, ready to receive passes from different ways. So after all, COD is pretty much a sport. It's not an official one yet. However, it is an esport, which means there are some plays in it. You need to be smart to be good at the game. You also need skill as well. So to practice this, you'll actually get a lot of skill if you practice moving around and making plays. That's why it's best to play with friends, because they'll listen to you. You can tell them, okay, I'm going around, can you cover this lane, can you do that? And it really just makes it a lot easier to play. So like I said, instead of just running into a flag, you can go around. That's a great idea, but the main idea is just to be smart, guys. Don't just make stupid plays. Don't run in. Don't go for 1 kill when you can really get 3. I mean, yeah, if you just run in, you'll probably get a kill or 2. But if you go around, you never know. You can get all of them. You can get a nice quad there, fury kill. You never know. If you be smart, there's a lot more opportunities, and it's a lot open to different reactions that's going to happen. So try out different plays and make sure you're going to be active. So those are pretty much the 3 things. Now the last thing I'm going to say is, this is not something that just comes to you and you're automatically going to be an expert. You kind of have to practice these things. So like I said with the EXO, you're going to have to practice jumping around and relying on it, because a lot of people don't rely on it. They kind of force themselves to use it, and then it does bad for them and they hate it. So as long as you use it as if you're walking or if you're moving around, then you're really going to start to do well with it, and it can really help you out. Like I said, you can kill multiple people. It's a huge skill, and it adds a lot of dynamic to the game, a lot of verticality as well, because you could be on top of a 3rd floor, somebody could be on the 1st, and they could just be playing like a normal Call of Duty, and they won't even see you, to be honest, and you can just shoot them down. So also be aware, as our second point, I'll just briefly cover over it. Remember to keep looking at your map once in a while. Be aware of where your teammates are, where the enemies are. Try to know what the objective is at all times. Oftentimes, I'll completely forget. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'll just be running around killing. And it never really works out, because you're going to end up dying. And people will always know where you are. And you're not going to have a purpose, in a sense. You're not going to be helping the team out a lot. And constantly move around. Be active, guys. It is Call of Duty. It's not Battlefield. It's not Arma. It's not Insurgency. It is Call of Duty. It's the fastest FPS out there right now. There might be a couple others, but this is definitely one of the fastest. So be aware of it. Don't overuse it. Pretty much everything here you don't want to abuse, but you definitely want to use it. So hopefully, guys, you learned from this. Good luck, guys. Try all these out, and I promise you'll become a better Call of Duty player and potentially even a professional one day. See you guys.